Wizards announced for $65, you can lose all your friends.
Absolutely. Let's dive into it.
Welcome to the Magic Rundown. Start us off today, we have the conclusion of the Outlaws of Thunder Junction story. We now know what everyone is doing there and what the heck is going on.
Which is a lot,
Yeah.
to be fair. Luckily for us, somebody over on the forums has condensed this a la Dragon Ball Z Kai to basically just the punch notes. And despite this, it is still like 8 pages.
Yep.
Because there is a lot going on in this specific set lore-wise.
6 episodes and 2 epilogues.
Yeah, it's pretty...
But the very
Pretty dense.
very abbreviated version is Oko wants to rob a vault. He gets the gang together. They commit some old western tomfoolery, commit various crimes.
Many crimes.
Many crimes. Jailbreaks, murders, train full of zombies.
One does not simply recruit Rakdos and not expect madness to ensue.
Or Gisa and Geralt and think they're
exactly
not going to reanimate the town.
Hence the train full of zombies. You know, as one does.
But the vault is opened, a Fomori baby has popped out of it, and Jason Vraska are resetting the multiverse.
Absolutely. So it's the classic wizards wrote themselves into a hole and they don't know how to deal with it without it looking dumb. So they're just gonna pull the classic Rick and Morty do-over, and we're just gonna pretend like none of that ever happened.
It's mending to Electric Boogaloo.
It really is.
Oops, we accidentally made it so everyone can be everywhere all the time, and we need to stop that.
We took away planeswalkers, and it didn't matter because everybody is still all over the place. And now we have non-planeswalkers planeswalking. Hence, Tiny Bones, Gisa Geralt, Rakdos, Riku, like every stretch, and not a Garruk in sight.
Karavik for the first time since 2021, just hanging out in prison.
So, you're right, like, so, very popular plane. It's, it's just on the way home.
Yep, yeah. But, a lot of people did have the criticism of it that with the Omen paths, you're also going to start running into things like, what's stopping people from Innistrading other planes? Because
exactly, like, it's...
Yeah.
You've opened the story abilities of planeswalkers for everything, which is a huge problem.
Or it's like you have Kaladesh, which is this like steampunk, like rebels versus the establishment.
Authority. Yeah.
What happens if the authority finds out what's going on at Ixalan? Are they just going to hop on over with their war machines and be like, hey, this is ours now?
Right.
We have god engines and you don't.
Start dispensing democracy, like... It's crazy because like they go to like Chandalar and it's just like, oh look, primitive goblins. We shall now establish the democracy.
But
start plane hopping and planting the flags. You know what I mean? It's like you're gonna have all kinds of crazy stuff like that going on because then you even have the people who are still and formerly were like planeswalkers who can now bring buddies with them.
Yep. But so, assuming Jason Vresk succeed, we will be once again permanently closing the interplanar highways and going back to everyone being stuck in their own homes.
It'll be fade to black, you wake up, and it'll be Magic the Gathering presents Alpha, Beta, Unlimited 2.
No. At this point in time, we were at Magic the Gathering presents Secret Lair Drop Fallout.
Oh, yeah. So if you've ever wanted to pay $65 to not have friends anymore, do we have the DLC for you?
Oh, yeah. Seeing as you're so excited about this one, you want to talk about what it contains?
Absolutely. So, this is Secret Lair Drop featuring Fallout, specifically Vault Boy Edition. So, you get Grand Arbiter Augustine IV as the Vault Boy Cap Collector, with 3 other cards being Sphere of Resistance, Trinisphere, and Winter Orb as Pip-Boy in various perilous situations. Oh my giddy aunt.
Oh, yeah.
This is just every card you hate to see at a commander table, all in one convenient package. So you too can pay $65 to just make your friends hate you. It's
stack starter decks.
I can't wait to remove these cards from my opponent's decks.
Second Fallout Secret Lair they have announced is Secret Lair Fallout Points of Interest. Bajuka Bog, Command Beacon, Fabled Passage, Reflecting Pool, and Reliquary Tower.
Really glad to see Command Beacon get another reprint. You know, it's a good card, and I feel like it's underrepresented.
And this one very much was the, okay, what is like an easy, like what is a softball pitch for Commander players? Oh, five lands that everyone plays.
Exactly, like, cool, it's just missing Command Tower, but, like, who cares?
And then finally, this is admittedly my favorite one, even though it's probably the weakest of all of them because it's just kind of cute.
This is also my favorite.
Fallout Special. Steel Shaper's Gift, Propaganda, Elixir of Immortality, Council's Judgment, Idyllic Tutor, Anger, and Lightning Bolt.
Spells out Special.
Oh, yeah.
And that makes you quite swell.
And of course, they also include that the bonus card for Special and Points of Interest will be a full art waste featuring Vault Boy sunning himself amidst...
In the nuclear wasteland. We love to see it.
And then the Vault Boy Secret Lair will contain a Codex Shredder.
Which, admittedly, has amazing art. It's just Deathclaw in a cage, and he's just feeding it paperwork. Yeah. We do like that.
Oh, yeah.
But then we get to the bonus card, which is now a thing, apparently.
In true Wizards fashion, they kind of ruined the magic.
Yeah, so have you ever wanted to buy a premium product with the chance of pulling another premium product? So now, whenever you buy a Fallout flavored Secret Lair, there's a chance, small chance, very small chance, that your bonus card will be replaced by a Mana Vault. So, you now have lottery cards in Secret Lairs, which was the one part I thought was safe for some reason. I don't know why I trusted Wizards to not try to find a way to jam more, because it's a Secret Lair. You're supposed to know everything that you get, and then you get a bonus card, and it's cool. It's whatever. Now there's a lottery to it, so now it's like, oh, well, if I want the Mana Vault, either I'm going to have to pay exorbitant prices for the single, or just buy a bunch of Secret Lairs, like they're booster packs. And it's insane, and I hate that they have found a way to further monetize Secret Lairs. Because, I mean, the Secret Lair problem's already, it's been touched on a million times. Like, you get 8 Secret Lairs every set, 90, like the special one. Like, it's cool. I like it. It's on flavor. But there's, like, 2, like, maybe 1 or 2 cards in there where it's, like, that would be worth getting. It's, like, Council's Judgment and, like, either Propaganda or Idyllic Tutor.
I'd argue Steel Shaper's Gift.
Steel Shaper's Gift is also pretty good. So it's just, like, you have one card that's clearly good, Council's Judgment. It's a very good card. And then there's just, like, the rest of it are just, like, that's fine. Yeah. But, like, they're not hard to get or anything like that. Like, they're not, like, don't get me wrong, Lightning Bolt is my favorite card ever printed. Please stop putting Lightning Bolts in Secret Lairs. We already literally had a Secret Lair that was nothing but Lightning Bolts. Yeah. Please. And Anger? Like, come on. We can do better than Anger for an A card.
Yeah. No, it really did kind of start, when I first saw them, I was like, okay, they're flavorful. Admittedly, a little on the weaker end of the Secret Lairs they put out, but it's Fallout, it's on flavor.
I do appreciate the flavor aspect of it, having one of each letter, you know, I like it.
But now that people are buying these just for that.
Just for the chase Mana Vault, because you know that the Mana Vault's going to be ridiculous. Because it's a lottery card, and it's got unique extended art, foil, Pip-Boy opening the vault, so you know it's going to be 3-4 times what a normal foil Mana Vault's going to be worth. It's the same thing with the lottery Mana Crypts. Like, sure, you could buy a Mana Crypt for like $100, or you could buy this really cool red Mana Crypt for $2,500. It's going to be one of those, because it's going to be like one in every, whatever, like 200 Secret Lairs has one, and Secret Lairs are like $60 a piece, anywhere from $35, $65 a piece, depending on which ones you're getting. So it's like, you're spending so much money at the chance to pull a card that by the time you pull it might only make you your money back, or you still might be in the hole. It's rough. I do not like this, and I hope that I hope fan feedback from everybody shows Wizards that this is not what we want, because we're already paying for a premium product. Don't hide lottery cards in our If I wanted that, I'd buy collector boosters.
See, the sole issue with that, I think, is going to be that the fans can be outraged and saying this is terrible, never do this again. They're going to sell out instantly.
Oh, for sure.
And Wizards are going to go, oh, we just sold...
It's the Call of Duty problem.
Yep.
Everybody complains about Call of Duty, the same game every year, yada, yada, yada. Every year it's one of the best-selling games out there because the people still buy it, which tells, Activision that people still like it, so they still make it.
No. Admittedly, it was kind of the glaring omission when all this Fallout stuff was being sourced. All right, there's literal mana vault. Where are you putting this? And it's like, of course, it's the super exclusive chase.
See, I wouldn't have cared if they would have done the same thing in a collector booster. You buy a collector booster and there's a 0.05% chance that in your collector booster you pull the One Ring mana vault. Cool, I don't care. That's fine because you're buying a pack, and packs are supposed to be random, and that's the appeal of the pack is, you get the assorted bag of goodies. Secret layers are supposed to be, here are 8 cards. These are the 8 cards you are getting. You know exactly what you are getting. You are buying it for this thing. Also, lottery card.
Yep.
I just feel like it goes against what the product was created for. And it just feels icky.
Yeah, that or if they just not mentioned at all. It was just secretly inserted into a random amount of them. It was like, hey, surprise, you get...
Right, like 2 months from now, you just see it on Reddit. And it's dude's just like, is this a thing? Is this fake? Did somebody do this?
Yep.
Whenever they came into Theros and, the dude opened the one pack that had just, all the gods in it.
Yep.
And it was just like, this isn't real, right? And it was just Wizards doing cute, funny stuff that they didn't tell people about. If it was like that, I'd also be fine with it. But them advertising, hey, our secret layers have lottery card,
that was straight from the, okay, it's Q2, okay, now you're just trying to make sure they sell.
Right. Which you already know it's going to sell.
Oh, God, yeah.
All of the Commander precons, everywhere I go, flying off the shelves. Nobody can keep them in stock. Collector's boosters, flying off the shelves. Nobody can keep them in stock. So, what makes you think, oh, no, I don't want more. I don't want more playable cards that look like Fallout cards. That's dumb. I don't want that. Come on.
But now that we've banged on enough about how much we are annoyed with the secret layer,
Old man yelling at the sky portion of the episode done.
We get to talk about Outlaws of Thunder Junction because the whole set is out. Or, well, not out, it's spoiled. It's not out till next
We
week.
have seen all of the cards now.
And we have thoughts and opinions.
There's so much going on in this set.
Yeah. Funny, ignoring my gripe about the legendary creatures.
Yeah.
Across the board, I'm kind of okay with the set. It's fine. There's plenty of, okay, there's solid uncommon removal. There's some good rares that do exactly what you want. There's a handful of mythics that are inevitably going to be pricier than I think they should be, but...
Right. I feel like this is going to be a good limited set.
Yep.
Like you said, there's a good variety of, your big pack bombs, your cheap interaction removal, draw, combat tricks, archetypes and stuff like that. But, whenever you get into the top end of the stuff, there's, so many cards wanting to do so many different things, which is... obviously Wizards catering to the Magic the Gathering crowd, which is just what you're gonna have. That it's their most profitable format.
Yep.
So they're going to have that. But outside of that, honestly, there's a lot going on, but I don't feel like there's a lot going on in a bad way. You're gonna open packs of this and you're just gonna be I want to build a deck around this. This guy's super cool. I want to see what this is going to do. I could probably replace some cards in my deck with this. And it's just, there's going to be a lot going on.
No, just kind of quickly scrolling through. I mean, across the board, there's no shouldered, which makes it happy. There's not going to be that mythic rare that's $90 in multi-format staples. But there's just good stuff. We talked about Gisa last week. I'm already starting to brew around her because she seems like she's going to be a very fun blue-black control shell. Yeah,
she's going to be the good follow-up to the Sheoldred to where now you have double threat. You don't have to worry about your Sheoldred just getting outed by a spell because now you still have Gisa.
Yep.
And she's going to you'll have 2 bombs for your control deck, so now the rest of your deck can just be your interaction spells instead of having to worry about other relevant bodies and stuff like that.
Was it like one of the cards that just recently was spoilered in the time between last steps? This one, Dust Animus, is already starting to see some potential play. He's a 2-mana 2/3 flyer. If you control 5 or more untapped lands, he enters the battlefield with 2 +1/+1 counters and a lifelink counter on him. It's like you either plot him. I'm sorry, he has 1 and a white plot.
Okay.
It's like you can plot him early game, and then just bloop, play him the next turn, or you can hold him up, or he's still playable late game because now you've got a 4/3 or 4/5 lifelinker.
Right. So, like, a card I want to talk about, which I would like to see this card do something. I'm going to do something with this card because he's way too cool to not. Akul, the Unrepentant. For black, red, red, you get a legendary creature, Scorpion Dragon Rogue, which is already cool. So he's a 5/5 Flample, Flying Trample. And then sacrifice 3 other creatures. You may put a creature from your hand onto the battlefield, activate only as a sorcery and only once a turn. Yep. Like, that just seems nuts. Like, if you go, like, into him into Gisa, and Gisa starts making zombies, and then you just start sacking the zombies to play, like, Rakdos for free, like, oh, dude, you can start doing some funny stuff with this.
Yep.
I really like this guy, and I feel like he's just strong. I mean, first of all, like, obligatory old man yells at the sky post of wizards pushing creatures way too far because now we have 4-mana 5/5 flying tramples with upside. Back in my day, we had Abyssal Persecutor, and your 4-mana 6/6 flyer meant you literally could not win the game. Or like Desecration Demon, where your opponent just got to keep it tapped in, it never actually got to swing until it was way too relevant and they like got murdered or something.
Oh, Desecration Demon was all upside, baby.
Oh, I know.
That thing put in work in Theros.
It did. But it's just like, it had like built-in downside. Your opponent could interact with it. This is just a 4-mana 5/5 flying trample that also, if you have too many dudes after you swing in with all your guys and they live, you sacrifice them and turn them into another big idiot.
Yep.
Or it's just like you curve out, you're playing like Rakdos aggro, and it's like you curve out, this guy's your turn 4, you swing in with your 3 dudes, sacrifice them, play Rakdos a turn early, and now you have a 5/5 flying trample and a 6/5 flying trample on turn 4, and it's just like, oh, that's cool. Yep. I didn't want to play a game anyway. Yep. But it's just I like him. I think he's going to do good things.
I mean, another one that I'm very, very happy to see, High Noon. 1 and a white enchantment.
Oh, yeah.
Each player can't cast more than 1 spell each turn. And then 4 and a red, sacrifice High Noon. It deals 5 damage to any target.
Yeah, I am super happy with that card. I'm always fond of the, like, crawl space. I think it's Spirit of the Labyrinth.
Rule of Law, those effects.
Yeah, like, I'm always, like, only so many things can happen a turn. I like those kind of things, because it still lets your opponent interact. It's not You're not like Isochron Scepter silencing your opponent on their upkeep or anything like that. So like they still get to play the game, but it restricts how both players get to play the game. Oh, and unfortunately, your deck's going to be built around that. So.
Oh no, I'm looking at it like, all right, so you play that early, just like again, I'm a control player. So I'm like, all right, so I jam that like turn 2 or 3.
Right.
I've got my grip full of counter spells, and now just your 1 spell's a no again.
Right.
Oh, now we're 20 turns into the game, and I have the perfect board set. I'm just gonna pop this now and just go crazy.
Right. Like then they play the Akul or the Rakdos on an empty board because you've killed all their other stuff, and you're just like, okay, well I'm ready to pop off, so I'm gonna pop this, kill your big dumb idiot. Also, very important, it kills Sheoldred.
Yep.
So, like, pop it, kill your Sheoldred, and now we're going to start playing the game and going nuts, and then to end my turn, I'll play another one.
Oh, yeah. Also, very nicely, because, again, it's any target, so even if your opponent has the empty board, and when you're finally ready, just to your face, please.
Go face, kill Planeswalkers, can shoot battles for all of you people out there playing battles. Like, it very versatile, extremely good card.
I have a lot of high hopes for this set. All right, where's our next one?
So, like, you have your typical, like, obvious commander cards. Bruce Tarl.
Yeah.
Ox you control have double strike. And it's just like, okay.
Yeah, we try not to think about those guys, because they,
the very clearly, like, 3 people are excited for this kind of thing.
Yeah. again, while we're browsing real fast, again, all the other legendary creatures for the most part have made sense. Like Karavek was in prison when they did the jail bust.
Yeah.
This dude was in this town when this was happening. Tiny Bones was recruited because he's a pickpocket. Why is Bruce Tartle there?
No idea. Like Bruce Harrell, like Riku makes sense because Riku makes phantasms. He makes reflections. He makes illusions. So, you know, run distraction or like let people shapeshift to do the thing, blah, 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 make people look like other people. So like also makes sense. But yeah, like Bruce Tarl.
Yep. Here's the one I was looking for. Mr. Vadmir Newblood.
Okay.
I don't think we hit on him. One in a black, 2/2. Legendary creature, vampire rogue. I'm gonna not take points away from him for being legendary.
Okay.
Whenever you commit a crime, put a +1/+1 counter on Vadmir Newblood. This ability triggers only once each turn. As long as Vadmir has 4 more +1/+1 counters on it, it is menace and lifelink. Again, I play control. This is turn 2 if I'm not doing anything else. You go down. Everything that I counter, remove, bounce, whatever, grows him.
Right.
And now I've got my big dumb beater as my finisher.
Absolutely.
And I do menace and lifelink. Thank you. I'm very tired of having to play like 4/4s with death touch. Like that's great. It's a 4/4. It doesn't need death touch.
Right.
It's gonna kill most everything it runs into at that point.
Another card that I'm really big on for... I'm pretty sure control decks might like this, but Pillage the Bog.
Yep.
Black-green sorcery. Look at the top X cards of your library, where X is twice the number of lands you control. Grab any card, put it in your hand, bot deck the rest, and it has plot for 1, a black, and a green. So, like, 2 mana, look at 8 cards, just don't reveal it, just grab any card you want. I feel like that's so good for 2 mana.
Yep.
So, like, Sultai control decks that are trying to do that kind of thing, like, that's going to be such a good draw engine because it's worse dig through time because it doesn't grab you 2 cards, but it only costs 2 mana always. So like even like worst case scenario, you're playing on turn 4, it's 2 mana. Look at 4, just pick any card you want. Like this, I feel like it's a super solid card, and I'm super excited to play with it.
Like early game is just okay. It's a 2 mana draw card, and then late game it's alright. It's a 2 mana. Look at the top 10. Pick out whatever I need to finish the game.
Right, what do I need? They have Sheoldred, I need removal, let me grab this. So they have this dude, let me grab this. I need to push for lethal, let me grab my Sheoldred or my Gisa, let me grab my big threat. So I just feel like it's a super good card.
And then, I've already talked about this one, I think, on the first episode we were talking about the spoilers, but again, Magebane Lizard, 1 in a red, 1/4. Whenever a player casts a non-creature spell, Magebane Lizard deals damage to that player equal to the number of non-creature spells they've cast this turn.
Yeah, good old-fashioned obligatory anti-storm tech making a comeback.
We were doing some playtesting because we're filthy legacy players. I'm like, all right,
Absolutely.
how good is this thing in a format that does not play many creatures at all?
Right.
It is a hose.
Oh, I imagine because there's so many decks, like you have like Miracles, where Miracles will be like Sleight of Hand, the one that just like lets you look at the top 2. I don't remember the card, Brainstorm, and they'll cast like 3 or 4 of those a turn. So it'll be like, all right, okay, so you're gonna take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So cool. Like you just got hit for 6.
I was playtesting a silly Gruul kind of beater strategy.
Yeah.
My friend is playing the stock standard Is It Delver list, and I'm sitting here going, wait, you just took 3 that turn, you took 4 that. I'm like, just playing this one little dude on turn 2 because I had nothing else down. I'm like, you're at 5 life.
He also blocks incredibly well. He's a 1/4, so he dodges Lightning Bolt, which is relevant still. Decks still play Lightning Bolt.
Yep.
And he can block any of the early game threats. Like he can block undeliriumed Dragon Rage Channelers. He can block Deathrite Shamans if they need, like if they're trying to get in for chip damage.
Ragavan dies to him.
Yep, it blocks Ragavan. It blocks a lot. So like for 2 mana, it's a super good card.
It is a phenomenal. It sits there and you don't think about it, and then it's like, wait, my opponent's like, brainstormed and then swords some other irrelevant thing.
Right.
They took a damage. Oh, and then next turn they brainstormed on their upkeep, and then they fetched, and then they brainstormed again to shuffle it away, and then they took 2. And just so quick at him, like, I'm winning games that I shouldn't be winning simply because the stupid little lizard is just sitting there going, take 2, take 2, take 2.
Right, and then like play 2 of them.
Yep.
Play 3 of them. You know, like if you put 2 of these down against a control player, they're having a bad time because they're going to have to take damage to remove 1 of them. So they're like, take 1, sword your guy, sword your other guy, take 2 now. So they took 3 damage to remove 2 1-power bodies with 2 of their removal spells because they have to get rid of them if they want to draw cards with their brainstorms or do anything else. So yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yeah. What was the other? And then we swapped off, and it's like, all right, I'm playing my Reanimator, which is my baby deck. I love that thing too much.
Right.
And he did the same thing. He was like, all right, turn 2, I was gonna slam a lizard. I'm like, all right, I'm playing Reanimator. I don't care. And then I did the, Dark Ritual, Entomb, Exhume, blah, 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 the whole night, thing. And I'm like...
Then you realize that you need to cast, like, Faithless Looting, Entomb, and all these other cards.
Reanimating a Gristlebrand and taking 3 because you cast 2 other spells before Reanimate, and then 8 for Gristlebrand, and going, oh no.
I have to win now, or I lose.
Unless I can swing with Gristlebrand, next turn, I die.
Right.
Like, I don't like this anymore.
Right.
I'm probably... Any deck that I'm running right now, this thing's going to be like a 2 or 3 up on the sideboard from now on, just for the, oh, you're playing a spells deck? No.
Absolutely. Like, oh, you're not playing Death Shadow. You're not just playing Big Dumb Idiots. I'm just going to kill you now.
I hope you have got that Force of Will. Actually, it punishes Force of Will.
Yeah. Because they take 2.
Yeah. And what's that? You cast it.
It's just good. A card that I haven't put the time into it to find the dumb broken thing it can do, but I also like at uncommon, Treasure Dredger. 1 in a black 2/2 human rogue, pay 1 tap, pay 1 life, make a treasure token. There's got to be some way to just untap that guy a billion times in a turn and just pay a bunch of life and just make mana.
Okay.
Like, I know it's out there. I just don't know where it's at. But I look at that card and I'm like, I really like stuff like that. I like cards where it makes me think, oh, I can break that.
This one is a silly little uncommon, but I find it funny because Thunder Salvo. 1 in a red instant, Thunder Salvo deals X damage to target creature, where X is 2 plus the number of other spells you've cast this turn.
Oh, yeah, okay. Fair.
I have it on Hello deck that has Thousand Year Storm in it. When other spells is 15, and you give your opponent a Mog Fanatic, it's really funny. It's like, hey, take 17 to the face.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Also, it's going to copy itself 16 more times.
Jesus.
Here's... Did we hit on the Stinkerback Terror?
No.
It is a 2 red, 7/7 Flying Trample. Plot 2 into red. Stinkerback Terror gets -1/-1 for each card in your hand. You're playing red. If it's turn 4, you don't have cards in your hand anymore.
Right, like I'm trying to imagine like Grixis Shadow. Like Grixis Shadow and like red beats. Just love this guy because it's just another copy of Death Shadow where it's like, hey, here's my 0 mana idiot. Deal with it.
Wait, no, even just in standard where it's like playing arena against like red decks, it's like,
okay, oh yeah,
we're 5 turns in, they have 2 cards in hand. This thing's a 5/5.
Because they're gonna be like 2 mana, play the lizard. Turn 3, play my Roadrunner, my 3-drop, my whatever it is. I got your Magdas, and then you follow it up with this guy, and you're just like, oh, I have 2 cards in hand, so here's my 4 mana 5/5. Play my other cards, and yeah, we're off to the races. We're good now.
Oh, yeah. I'm trying to find the other. There's another one that specifically synergizes with the discarding cards in red. And seeing as the red deck loves their 4 of inties, it's going to get real dumb real fast.
Another, while you're looking for that, another card I'm really big on is the Hellspur Posse Boss. 2 red for a 2/4 Lizard Rogue. Other outlaws you control have haste. A reminder, outlaws are assassins, mercenaries, pirates, rogues, and warlocks. And whenever he enters the battlefield, he makes 2 mercenaries with tap. Target creature gets +1 power until end of turn. Activate only as a sorcery. Like, that's huge. So 4 mana for 3 bodies, 2 of which have haste and can fire breathe your other dudes. And then it gives a bunch of cards that are very relevant in this format haste. Because, like, you play this dude turn 4, turn 5, you play Rakdos. Rakdos is now if the 2 1/1 tokens survive, you're swinging for 8 flying trample, and if they have an out to him, you can sacrifice one of the tokens to make Rakdos indestructible and pseudo draw you a card. Like, that seems so good to me. I want to build like that kind of deck.
Yep.
I definitely want to try the Outlaws deck and see if I can just make it get there.
I did a quick scroll. I'm not finding it, so I'm just going to skip over it because I do not feel like looking through
all of the entire set. No, I feel you. I feel you.
Where did you go, though? We already hit on good old Mr. Terror of the Peaks and Archangel of Tides get reprinted, which is always nice to see.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, the appropriately named Ankle Biter.
So we have Ankle Shanker. Now we have Ankle Biter.
I already saw at least one person commission this to be painted as their child.
Oh, absolutely.
This is my daughter, Ankle Biter.
So, for me, that card was made me think of Leslie Nielsen, Giant Beaver.
Yep.
I have to get that as the scene where they're on the attic ladder. I have to. It's just too funny. I saw that, and it just immediately made me think of that.
I'm intentionally also skipping over the commander cards because some of those give me,
You know, what was his name? The dude with 5 feet. And you don't like him?
Oh no, I'm talking about the recently spoiled 3 red. When it enters the battlefield, if it was cast, the next instant or sorcery has Storm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want that.
No, I mean, don't get me wrong. I want that. I don't want that to be in the game. That's what I don't want.
Like, admittedly, part of my hostility towards it is when it was first spoilered, I was speed reading it and I didn't see that it said instant or sorcery. I was like, do they just print a card that just gives the next spell Storm? Creature Storm. I was like, okay, that's bad. Then I was like, wait a minute. There's again 1,000-Year Storm, so you can get Exponential Storm.
Right.
Like, oh, thank God they specified instant or sorcery.
That would be insane.
Where did you go, my poor card? I feel...
I'm just trying to imagine, like, you give the Posse Boss Storm, you make, like, 4 copies of them, each one makes 2 dudes with haste, and then all of them give all of the Posse Bosses haste, and you just send the Goon Squad in.
No.
I mean, I think it'd be very funny.
There's the Lava Spur boots, which are Swiftfoot boots with downside?
Yeah. Well, I mean, good on them for not just keep, like, nuclear arm racing Swiftfoot boots, like, and keeping Swiftfoot boots where they want boots to be. Because Lightning Greaves are silly.
Lava Spur boots, 1 mana equipment, equip 1, equipped creature gets +1/+0, haste, and ward 1.
Yeah. So, okay. So there is a card I want to complain about a little bit.
Okay.
So they felt the need to add an 11th sword. 12th if you count the D&D sword, but that silver border. The Sword of Wealth and Power. So for 3 mana, you get an artifact equipment. Equip for 2, same as always. Equipped creature gets +2/+2 and is pro instant sorcery. So let me tell you how the cool part of the swords is that you can guarantee that you will get the combat damage by equipping the sword that gives you protection from the creatures that would be able to block it. So having a sword that does not give you protection from creatures in any way doesn't matter because you're just getting blocked every single time you swing. And it has the ability, whenever the equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, you make a treasure token, and your next instant or sorcery is copied. So it's like, I mean, don't get me wrong, those are 2 powerful abilities, but it's never going to connect. Like, the cool part of the swords is that they make them unblockable to guarantee that your Sword of Fire and Ice will shock something and draw you a card. Being pro instant and sorceries, because you still die to, like, board removal.
Yep.
Like, they still kill you with sweepers.
Yeah.
Like, anything like that. There's good, like, creature-based removal. So it's just, I want to like it because it's a sword, and historically I like the swords. I like my big dumb idiot Voltron. Try to throw all 10 swords on a guy. But, like, this, I look at this card and I'm like, it's crap.
Yeah. It does kind of feel like they're starting to scrape the bottom of the barrel for what they can give swords protection from.
We did it. We're done. Like, as far as I'm concerned, we have all 10 2-color pairs. That's all we needed. They're all there. You are allowed to end cycles, Magic.
Yeah.
Like, we don't need more. You did it, and you're like, look at this really cool thing that we did, and that's done, and we're moving on now.
I'm half expecting the next sword is going to be something like protection from multicolored and colorless or something like that.
Like multicolored and colorless, and then the next one will be like protection from artifacts and enchantments.
Yep. Protection from monocolored. Why?
Right. Protection from cards from exile and planeswalkers.
Speaking of downgraded version of past equipment, Lost GT.
Okay.
Legendary artifact equipment, costs 1 mana, costs 1 to equip it. Whenever equipped creature deals combat damage, put a charge counter on Lost GT.
So for any of those of you who have played high power commander or like high power formats where GT is allowed, Umezawa's GT is one of the biggest design blunders Wizards has ever created. It is one of the single most horribly designed cards ever. Because original GT is whenever creature deals damage, period, get 2 charge counters on the Jeet. You can remove it to give a creature +2/+2 for turn, give another creature -1/-1, or gain some life. So, they learned with this one, you only get 1 charge counter. It is when you do damage at all. What?
Umezawa's is combat damage.
Okay.
Yep, so no, they at least made sure to make it combat damage.
Combat damage, okay.
Creature or player or planeswalker counts.
Right, so like you swing in, they block it, and this is the main problem with GT. GT gets the counters, not the creature. So I will swing in with my dude, my 1/1 idiot with the GT. You block it, I don't care. GT has the counters. I will equip GT to the next guy, and now he is either bigger or I use it to kill your dudes. Also note that GT does not have to be equipped to anything to remove its counters to activate its abilities.
Yep.
So like you slap this on, like I know in Canlander, Surge likes to play it, obviously high power card. So he puts it on like Dueling Ace, 2 mana, 1/1 double strike. And he's like, all right, cool. Bap you for 1, 2 counters, bap you for 1, 2 counters. You literally can't play creatures for like 4 turns.
Yep.
And it's just like, it's so good in situations like that. So luckily they learned with Lost GT, it only gets 1 counter, and the abilities are way less broken.
Yes.
So the abilities are remove a counter, untap 1 target land, target creature can't be blocked this turn, or get a +1/+1 counter. So it is permanent growth on a creature, which is relevant because Umezawa's GT is only +2/+2 for turn.
Yep.
So like it is permanent growth, which is not bad. Making your dude unblockable, so if you do get this on a double striker, you can guarantee 2 more counters. And then being able to untap lands is always cool. Because like you can bap them, get a counter, untap, and play like another card that turn, like Brainstorm, leave up swords mana, whatever it is that you're going to be trying to do. And I think that this card's not bad. It's just bad because Umezawa's GT exists.
Yeah.
Like it's just one of those, like Mana Vault's not a bad card, it's just Mana Crypt is right there.
Yep.
It's just one of those kind of situations. Like this card is nuts. This card is so good. But Umezawa's GT exists.
Yep.
And Umezawa's GT allows your Delver to like swing for 1 billion damage on turn, like whatever. And it's because like, yeah, I'll give him +2 like 4 times. Who cares? It's the main problem with the design of Jeets is that they get the counters. And they didn't fix that on this one. And I get it, it's an homage, but they did at least have the foresight to make this one notably worse.
Yeah.
In the form that it does not have removal. OG GT having removal was the biggest problem, because you literally could not play into a Jeet with counters on it. Like, okay, I literally cannot play a creature that does not have 3 toughness, because he hit me 1 time. So I literally cannot, or either that or I just have to throw away a creature I need. Like, I have to throw a Ragavan in front of it. To force him to remove a counter from it so that I can play my Grand Abolisher or like my 2 toughness creature that I need to get out. It's rough.
Love GTA. hate GTA.
Oh yeah, it's like Sensei's Divining Top. Like it's one of those like I hate that this card exists, but I love playing with this
We
card.
don't talk about top. Also, speaking of Grand Abolisher, he's also getting reprinted into Standard.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yep,
Which he should be. Like last time I checked, he was like $25.
Yeah.
Like, card's ridiculous.
He's one of those, like, I don't think he'll ever... maybe he'll see a little Standard play, but he's mostly this dude just needs to get reprinted.
He's a value
somewhere.
reprint. Yeah, which I am all for.
Same thing. Also on the value reprint list is Rest in Peace, and where did the other one go?
Yep.
And Torpor. There we go.
Yeah.
So,
just good cards.
Yep.
It's like the classic, like, here's a random Graph-Digger's Cage because Graph-Digger's Cage hit $8 and we didn't like that. So
Yep.
just print it into Standard. No deck's going to play it. Nobody cares. We just wanted it to be cheaper.
Yep.
Now, if only they could do that for the really expensive cards.
I do enjoy that as they've been spoilering all the big score cards, but for those who are listening, this is what we're currently talking about now, is we've moved past main set. This is now the big score artifacts.
Yeah.
There's like 3 or 4 cards that all have like do a thing, make a copy.
Yeah.
And someone's comment was just, is the vault just a bunch of really shitty 3D printers?
It really is like Molten Duplication, the Esoteric Duplicator, which is, by the way, Esoteric Duplicator is a funny card. 2 and a blue for a mythic artifact clue. Whenever you sacrifice Esoteric Duplicator or another artifact, you may pay 2. If you do, at the beginning of the next end step, you make a copy of that artifact. And then pay 2, sacrifice itself, draw a card. This card is silly.
Yes.
I very much like this card.
I already have an Emery Commander deck.
Oh, yeah.
I run Clark Cran Ironworks in that deck because of course you do.
Right, because like I'm just trying to imagine something even like simple. Like you play Battle Ball. Sacrifice Battle Ball to like any of the like blasting station, anything like that. Pay 2, have something where it's like your triggered abilities triggered twice, pay another 2. And it's just like, cool, I'll make, at my end step, I'll make 2 more Battle Balls.
Yep.
Or just anything like that, like Worm Coil Engine, just keep making copies of stuff. Oh, like this card's nuts.
It got stupid very quickly. I love it.
Oh yeah, like I love to see like new cards like that. And I like that it does come with a genuine cost. You have to wait until the end step before you get it. It's not an immediate thing, so you can't just like go haha infinite worm coils or anything silly like that. You do have to pay 2.
Yeah, they're slowly learning to stop releasing oops, we broke the game artifacts.
Right. I'm just trying to imagine like somebody plays this with something like Aether Spellbomb. Sack Aether Spellbomb, draw a card, bounce your dude, pay 2, make a copy of Esper Spellbomb or Aether Spellbomb, and it's like ha 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 ha. You're never gonna have creatures ever again as long as I have 3 mana, which I'm going to have because I'm playing blue.
Or is it also on the list of Vault 3D printers? Worldwaker Helm, 2 and a blue artifact. If you would create 1 or more artifact tokens, create those tokens plus an additional map token. And then for 1 and a blue and tap it, create a token that's a copy of target artifact you control.
Yeah, so here's a card
artifact token you control. I didn't realize. Catch that.
Oh, God, that's so
okay, so they reined that one in.
Yeah, they did catch that. So here's another one that I think, I'm probably wrong on this, but I think this could see Canlander play. Simulacrum Synthesizer. 2 and a blue artifact. When it enters the battlefield, scry 2. Whenever any artifact with mana, or another artifact with mana 3 or greater enters the battlefield, make a construct. I feel like that's pretty nuts because it's super easy to bounce your own artifacts, make copies of artifacts. So like even if you're just like turn 3 play this, turn 4 play Phyrexian Metamorph copying this because it's not legendary. Metamorph makes a copy of the, like this makes a construct for Metamorph, and now you play another dude and you make 2 more constructs, and like this gets out of hand super quick.
Yes.
Like even if you're only triggering it like 2 or 3 times, that's usually enough construct power to kill somebody. Like I could totally see that doing work.
So next up, I got the Transmutation Font. 5 mana artifact. Tap, create your choice of a blood token, a clue token, or a food token. 3 tap. Sacrifice 3 artifact tokens. with different names. Search your library for an artifact card, put it onto the battlefield, then shuffle. Activate only as a sorcery.
Yeah, so, I'm glad that it has to be artifact tokens with different names. You do have to have everything. Academy Manufacturer.
Yeah, I was
says
like,
hello.
Academy Manufacturer immediately jumped when this thing was shown off.
Yeah, like Academy Manufacturer says hello. But I feel like this is probably like the fairest Tinker's ever gonna get. You pay 5 mana for it up front, it sits out there, and then you have to pay 3, tap, sacrifice 3 things of different colors. So like you do need other things for this to do. And then you get to go get whatever silly, dumb, broken thing you want.
Admittedly, I'm playtesting in Brea because I already slotted in the new coal vending machine, which makes junk tokens, then manufactures. Then it's like, all right, so I make 4 different kinds of tokens a turn. I'll
Absolutely. Also, another thing to consider: Karnstructs are artifact tokens, Myrrh are artifact tokens, Thopters, Servos.
Oh yeah.
Like you're gonna have tokens lying around.
Treasures.
Like they don't have to be treasure food clue. It's just that Academy Manufacturer says that if you happen to make any of one of those, which this makes, you get all 3. So let's just shortcut it a little bit. But yeah. Silly card.
I'm thinking we hit one more each, and then we're gonna call it a conclusion because this episode's getting a little long.
That's super fair. So my last one will be the Nexus of Becoming. For 6 mana, you get an artifact at the beginning of combat on your turn, draw a card, then you may exile an artifact or creature card from your hand. If you do, you make a copy of it, except it is a 3/3 golem in addition to other types. I think that this card's going to be very silly.
Yes.
Allowing you to mitigate cost and cheat something into play is so good. And it makes it an artifact, which is also very silly because you can like 6 mana 6 generic mana artifact, like that's nothing. That's so easy to get around. And the fact that it lets you make extra copies of any artifact or creature is so good. It's gonna let you get around so many things. I think this card's gonna be cool, and it draws you cards, so I mean.
And then my final card is a red card, unfortunately. Generous Plunderer. 1 in a red. 2/2. Creature, human rogue. He has Menace. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may create a treasure token. When you do, target opponent creates a tapped treasure token. Whenever Generous Plunderer attacks, it deals damage to defending player equal to the number of artifacts they control.
Another thing to note is that yours comes in untapped, theirs comes untapped.
Yep.
Which is important, because you get to use yours immediately, they don't. And then also just punishing, like, I feel like this card's going to be awesome sideboard deck. Because, like, if you're just playing against an artifact deck, like the Legacy Ratchet deck or anything like that just plays a bunch of spell bombs, bunch of just, like, swing at you, hit you for 6.
Yep.
I have a 2/2 with Menace. Like, punishes Urza's Legacy. Or Urza Saga, I mean. Because they're making the artifact tokens.
Yep.
And so just like, I'll just swing at you. I don't care if I die. Because I'm just going to shoot you for 4. And then I have Menace. And then I'll just play another one.
This was notably in the set before this. What at uncommon was Vengeful Tracker, which is whenever your opponent sacks an artifact, he shocks them.
Yeah.
So it turns into, if you can curve like Plunderer into that guy. Every single turn is like, all right, you're either taking +1 damage or you're taking 2 to get rid of your treasures, so he won't shoot you for even more.
Right, exactly. So I like this card. I like it. I think it's good.
I finally found the stupid card that I was talking about. It's in the big score, of course.
One more. Okay, so one more. This will be the last one.
Yep. Hostile Investigator. 3 and a black, 4/3. When Hostile Investigator enters the battlefield, target opponent discards a card. Whenever one or more players discard a card, investigate. This ability triggers only once each turn. So you're playing that red aggro. It's like, all right, go to combat, swing with Inti, pitch a card, get a counter. This guy triggers, make a clue, and just start card valuing the entire town. It's like, all right, he's already a 4/3, so he's...
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. I think it's great.
Yep. It's like, cool. You discard a card, and you can also start drawing cards, or you start building up your clues in case you have to start drawing late game when your hand gets emptied out. It's like,
right.
I can see turning into like a 2 or 3 of in a lot of aggro decks for just the continuous value he
just like the
generates.
top end, like he's the guy you top out at. Oh yeah, absolutely. I feel that. Well, that is all for today.
Yep.
Thank you, as always, for joining us here on the MTG Rundown.
We'll be pre-releasing this weekend, so hopefully we'll have a couple of stories about the shenanigans that came out of Outlaws Thunder Junction.
Absolutely. We'll see you then.